So at the end of last session, you guys had pretty much slid off the face of the skull down to the ground to see what this armored figure was about. Milo and Nella, Wait, Milo, didn't you drop down and Nella drop down?
Yeah, no, we got down. Because I got down and she slipped.
By Milo because she slipped.
I'm holding her like threshold style at this point.
So the armor figure had backed up a little bit to give you guys space to crawl down. Allie, you're, at least at the moment, you're standing within arm's reach of him.
I'll back up a little. I mean, he's backing up. I won't. I'm doing a lot of mirroring here.
Allie, since you got closest to him, he kind of turns and looks at you and says,
"Hey, buddy.
Why do you come to Karse?"
Just a summer visit, really. It's late in the year, and we're doing this. It's kind of like a trip.
We're just sightseeing.
Sightseeing. We've always heard about the giant skull of Karse, so we just have to come see it for ourselves.
Heard that the deadlies really do well.
You won't grant us access? Why?
We can pay an entrance fee. I have some gold.
Only those who are here to lay Karse to rest will be allowed to pass.
Oh.
Hey,
wait, he's not dead yet?
He lays here suffering.
God. Yeah, what do we have to... Karse is the big team.
When you ask who's Karse, he kind of slowly looks over at the giant skull that you're standing next to or being held in Milo's arms next to.
Wait, that's a
Karse
person?
is the fallen god.
I didn't know they grew that big.
I thought gods died.
Yeah, that's normal human size.
He's not undead like you, right? He is celestial.
He is a celestial, and he lays here suffering.
What keeps him alive, I guess, is my question.
More specifically, how do you kill it if you haven't managed to already?
You put it to rest.
And why would an undead like you be in front of this skull and ask us to stop his suffering?
He says, I was Karse's friend while he lived.
Well, you're so small.
He was cast down. I took on the responsibility of shepherding whoever can help him in the right direction.
Have you seen a lot of people exiting him?
Unfortunately, yeah. There seems to be fiends that have recently started to crawl from within him.
Well, we're here to deal with that. I don't know if that will help.
Could deal with...
Unless you have the coalescence of scorn, there's nothing you can do.
We actually might have something that'll work.
That looks very much like, I don't know what to do now.
What's the coalescence of scorn?
Would you help us?
Did you bring it?
No.
Did we?
Oh, we did? Oh, then yes. We have that.
If he wants to take it.
He says, if you have it,
we have
put a great evil to an end.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah. What evil are we talking about here? We were told the evil was a portal.
I know nothing about a portal.
That's where do you think the demons are coming from?
Good point.
What's his intelligence?
I'm not versed in the way of demons.
Gotta think of it. We should probably get our definition straight. I have made several mistakes because of this. But when you say put to rest, do you mean like, put to rest, like put him to sleep? Or do you mean put to rest as in like kill Karse?
When Karse was fallen, he lay here, and his own remorse keeps his spirit trapped in this area. If you have the coalescence of scorn, you need to take that to his brain and put his mind to ease.
But we need to put the portal to ease.
Yeah, herein lies the problem. That is a single-use item, is it not?
Yep.
We need to take that down and use it to seal the portal to the abyss inside of him.
If you took it and laid Karse to rest, he kind of sweeps his arm across the vista below you. He says, this would be put to an end.
Do you know that for sure?
We have been kind of screwed before with these kind of things. We're a little suspicious.
And also, what makes you the expert? I'm sorry, but you're clearly not a magician.
We were very doubtful about the portal at the beginning.
Okay. My people, when we wanted to teach something, we told a story. And when we wanted to convince someone, we didn't just tell them why. We gave them a story as to how it would happen and why it would happen a certain way. You tell me the story of Karse and why it is that if we put his mind to rest, all this will be gone and our problems will be solved.
Certainly. So I'm going to, as a DM, I'll summarize here because this would take a long time. But
We're all going to sit down, get a short rest.
so long ago, there was an empire called the Netherese Wizards. Nadar, you know a little bit about this because you traveled through some of their area on the way to High Forest. It was a vast desert when you traveled through it. But long ago, it was lush and vibrant, and the Netherese were some of the earliest humans to adopt magic. And they learned magic to a level that outstripped everybody else. They got to the point where they could build these things called mythals. And the mythals were nuclear batteries for magic. They got to the point where they started to make mythals that would tear off the tops of mountains, flip them upside down, and the Netherese would build cities on them. And these cities would cruise around Toril and gain control of an area because you'd have these super wizards that were on floating cities and were basically unstoppable. Well, one of their most powerful wizards, this guy named Karse, decided, you know what? We're tough enough that I should just take control of magic in general. So he came up with a spell that would steal the pantheon of magic from the god of magic, and he cast it, and it worked. But when he took control of magic, all magic around all of Toril, the plain, stopped working. All of these floating cities plummeted down and crashed into the ground. You guys are standing where one plummeted, and Karse was so full of this magic when he cast the spell that he enlarged and became this demigod, basically. When the city crashed down, God of Magic was able to rip the magic back away from him, and he pseudo-died. That's what's before you right now.
How does that mean if we put him to rest?
When the magic was torn away, Karse went a little bit insane. He's lying here lamenting what he did. He realized that mostly worked, but it was a really horrible idea, and I just destroyed my entire empire of magic. So he's sitting here constantly in this cycle of self-deprecation and self-hatred. If you can get that to stop by taking his last scream and getting him to finalize that scream and be done with it, he should fall out of existence. His magic that is powering this undead blood that's coming from his system should stop, and that should stop the necromantic power that's keeping the area of Karse and the dead wood active.
But what about the portal?
Probably won't do anything to the portal.
Okay. I guess something we should try and figure out is how urgent is this? And is there possibly another item that has a similar attribute?
Not for Karse, there's not.
Also,
What about for the portal?
He says, as you've noted, I'm not well versed in the arcane. I would assume there's plenty of things that'll shut down a portal. Wizards seem to open them all the time.
Yeah, our wizard who sent us here said this was the only thing that could close the portal and that there was no plan B.
That seems
So it
unlikely.
seems-
If it's mortal magic, there should be something else that would...
We're not certain if it's mortal. More
Also,
specifically, it's probably demonic.
Also,
Um,
other question.
Demons are still mortals.
Won't
Are they?
the magic god be very angry with us?
She doesn't seem involved in keeping Karse in this state of suffering. That seems to be Karse's own doing. But it's also partially due that his final scream left him. But you've brought that back. Yeah, you can do an insight check.
What time is it?
Early morning. We just came
Yeah,
back from
it's-
long rest.
Oh, right.
Probably not past 8:30 or 9 in the morning.
Do you think Air Evan would still be asleep?
You did travel quite a bit with him, and he's a pretty early riser. He rises,
Okay.
same time as you guys.
We do have a summoning marble for him.
But I don't think we need it.
He doesn't have to respond to it.
Okay, we could stop all this evil that is going on here and find
But-
another way to close the gate, or close the gate, and it maybe won't work, and still we'll deal with all the stuff here.
The problem is if we end this, I feel like that might draw attention from the Lich. That's just me. If
Technically,
we,
the Lich might die.
Ooh, that's a plus.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I guess
would
there's
you-
another point.
Because here's my concern with the portal. It's not that it won't close it. I think it will. I think Era Evans working for another demon lord trying to get power by stopping these guys from breaking into the material plane and getting it here. I think
We could just say we tried it and it didn't work. Because he just said he didn't know. But that could be a lie too.
because I've always found it fishy because just like this guy has said, people open portals all the time. There's ways to close them. and he said that this coalescence of scorn is the only way to close this portal ever, full stop. If it doesn't work, nothing will. There's no other way. I can't think of anything, blah, 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 blah.
All right, magic people in the group. What do you
Yes.
know of closing portals?
I know a lot.
Ta-da. Ali?
Traveled a lot.
Furry? Maybe even? Those are
Anybody
the-
with Arcana as a skill can make an Arcana check.
Can I pray to my god?
I was literally typing into chat that Milo is moving over to find a little quiet spot to start praying for guidance.
Yeah.
So, Nadar, you know quite a bit about portals. There's generally 3 types of portals. There's temporary portals that a spell will open, and dispel magic will close those easily. There are construct portals that somebody has built and infused with magic, and dispel magic doesn't shut those down for more than a moment, but destroying the physical aspect of the portal usually will close it. And then there's other, and other can be anything. Those are obviously very rare, and they're usually opened from the other side. So they're open from the abyss,
Yes,
they're open from the 9 hells, they're open from the outer planes.
Okay.
Why don't we go inspect it? I mean,
Yeah.
this guy could come with us, and we won't do anything until we make a full decision. But we would like to go see it. If it's a portal that we think we can close otherwise, like if it's a constructed one, because we don't even know what it looks like. If it's a constructed one, then we could figure out a different way to do it. But if it's other, then I don't know.
Yeah, and if he can help
What
us.
did my insight check do?
He seems sincere. And everything that he's told you, he at least believes.
He's in other words, he's not intentionally lying to you.
All right.
Maybe we just need to hug the brain and tell him he's a good boy.
I asked him if he would accompany us down so we can look at the portal first.
I will not let you go down there. If you have the coalescence of scorn, you need to put an end to this evil.
We're trying to put an end to evil that will take over the entire plane and destroy it and everything in it.
We're trying to put an end to the evil that's desecrating his corpse.
Do you see what's before you? You would let this continue?
No, I wouldn't. But I see an evil that is contained itself in a 10 square mile city and not embroiled multi-planar levels of chaos and death.
Also, he made his own bed and now he's lying in it.
Furry, no helping.
He kind of looks at all of you. Which of you has this coalescence of scorn?
Wait.
I'm not sure.
Wait, okay, so what I want to point out here is the 2 options we have are either 1, we use it on him, and then the demons take over, destroying the world, which kind of made it pointless that we saved him in the first place. Or 2, we use it on the portal, and then possibly I could try and figure out a way to research what exactly it was that we just used, and try and replicate the effect.
I have no problem helping this guy.
Honestly,
I know what it's like to be an ancient person with like stuff left over in your life that you want to do. I want to help you, but I can't let the whole world burn. We can just go down, and if you help us and we can take care of this portal, then there's no reason for us to not come back up here and use the coalescence of scorn to put your friend to rest. If we've got to use it on the portal, then there's no reason we can't go try and find another way to put your friend to rest. We've got the coalescence of scorn. We're not exactly incompetent.
Do you have it?
Strong words.
I don't think so.
Your wife has it, Milo.
Make a deception, Milo.
I really don't think I do.
I do.
Critical deception. For a 19.
He's clearly trying to figure out who has it. And he does
We
seem
don't
to be
want
getting
to find-
more and more agitated as he talks to you.
You're 100% unwilling to do anything to help us, to do anything about what will destroy the entire plane.
You help us, we help you.
Why do you think it'll destroy the entire plane?
Have you heard of the Blood Wars?
No.
Have you been standing next to this dude's teeth for like the entire history of the planet?
My existence is to help Karse be laid to rest.
I want to ask him, are you from this plane or are you from somewhere else? How do you know him? Where do you come from?
I was Karse's friend when he lived.
So you were among the wizards.
I'm not a wizard, but I traveled with him.
You were his party member.
Yeah.
But then you would know that sometimes you have to make a deal in order to do something.
But what I hear you telling me is if you get in front of that portal and you think that the coalescence of scorn is the only thing that'll close it, my last chance of laying my friend to rest is gone.
No, that's
And I won't
not
allow
what we
that
were
to
saying.
happen.
We were saying we wanted to go look
No.
at it and then decide.
Now you
Why
have
does the decision
0%
matter?
chance. Because now you have 0% chance. Then, if we go downstairs, you have 50.
66 actually.
I think we
You're
don't
much,
have-
much
yeah.
closer to it.
How about this
75.
as a deal? You
Oh, I
lay
hate
Karse
that
to
word.
rest, and I'll accompany you down to the portal and help you close it.
Oh, then we have nothing to close it with.
And also, we're making the deals here.
Can we
Or
at least
deal
go
with-
see what the actual portal,
I just
like
wanna
how the
see
portal is
it.
actually made, so that we actually know whether or not we can actually just go in and destroy it instead of having to find an obscure way? Because if we go down there and find out that we can't close it unless we find this certain thing, we're all going to be sitting ducks as the demons come out of the portal and start killing us.
Says, I would like to help you, but the problem is, if you go down there and decide that you need the coalescence of scorn to close that portal, suddenly we're enemies.
No, because we're still willing to help you find a way to put your friend to rest. It just can't be that way.
I don't think
God-
there is another one.
Gods
Moral
die
people
all the
die.
time. And
Portals
your
get
friend
closed
wasn't
all
even-
the time.
Not these kind.
Not this one.
Alright, well, okay. Can you wait?
I'm not
Just
going
wait.
to let you down there.
Can you wait 10 minutes?
You've waited for centuries. 10 minutes, it's just like you taking one blink of an eye.
Can I go sit over there and just hold on a second? Just 10 minutes?
Like, is it possible
he
for
looks
at
you
least,
up
like,
and
two or
down.
three of us
He
to go
says
down
to cast
there
a
and see
spell. No.
Yes, to cast a spell.
What are you going to cast?
It's a divination spell. I'm gonna cast my augury spell.
Okay, then he
And I-
believes you.
And I say, Sheen, just 10 minutes. That's all I'm putting on my cards.
As you go to walk over there, he says, before you go, are you carrying the coalescence of scorn?
No, I
Okay.
am not.
I understand you want it, but you're feeling really threatening here, friend. We're trying to be friendly. Please try to be friendly with us.
Please work with us. We're not going into the skull just yet. We're just staying here to decide what to do.
I am hoping you guys will make the right choice. You can see the evil that the
It's-
area around Karse has become.
Sometimes
and
there
you're
is no
willing
right
to let
choice.
that continue.
Choice. What if this place was embroiled in demons and was 40 times larger? Would that be eliminating evil? No, it wouldn't. So we're trying to make the right choice. You're trying to make us make the choice you want us to make. It's not the same thing. So please.
It is the
try
same
to-
thing.
All right. Just
No,
I'm
how
gonna-
can I
I'm gonna-
convince you?
You can't.
If you look at this and say this isn't the worst thing ever,
It's
You've
the worst
only
thing
been
right
here.
now.
You don't know what's going on everywhere else. You don't know that demons have broken out of their holds and are overrunning city after city, destroying everything in their wake. That we have another alliance of people trying to stop them. That we've been sent here to stop this, because if this front of the war opens up, the entire western side of the world will be destroyed. Full stop. Nothing else. Yes, I get it. There's an undead city here. It's not the only one.
So I go over there, I sit down, take a little stretch, pull some cards out, and then I want to know if we use the scream on the portal, will it be good or will it be bad?
I think another way to say it would be, if we try to close it without the scream, will it have a good result?
Okay,
That's a good way of wording it.
I'll do that one. If we try to close the portal without the scream, what will the result be?
you flip out your cards, and at the end of your 10 minutes, the cards that have flipped up are primarily good. There's a little bit of woe mixed in there.
That sounds like we can close it without the scream, but it's going to be hard.
Okay.
That sound about right.
Honestly,
What else?
I'm kind of up for it. I think that this string is kind of whatever to begin with. Let's just use it for this guy. Maybe this guy will help us out.
Will you help us if we
Do we have any of that demon paper that
use
we
the
can make a
scream
contract
on Karse in fighting the demon?
If you can lay Karse to rest, absolutely.
You won't go poof when we lay Karse to rest. You won't disappear just into thin air because you've done your task.
I don't know.
Oh,
with? Oh, God. Dang it!
Oh.
what did I think of that?
Why don't you know anything about yourself?
What is your skill set?
I am a well-accomplished warrior.
Are you some sort of knight
Yes.
that is dead now?
Death Knight.
That's a good question. What is keeping you here?
I've assumed the magic of Karse.
Oh, well, okay.
When the city fell, I was alive, and when I awoke, what you see before you is what I found.
If we were to give you the scream, hypothetically, would you help us fight the demons before you release Karse? Because if we release Karse and then you go away we won't be able to have your help with us.
Make a persuasion.
Oh dear.
You'll give me the coalescence before you go look at the portal?
No, but we will use it on Karse.
Nope. Nadar just said that we would give it to him.
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna give it to him. You will get it, and we will kill Karse.
Because by
No.
the looks of things, it looks like it's possible to close without it.
Rest.
Here's the deal I'm willing to make if everyone else is willing to go along with this. The moment the portal is closed, we'll come back up and put Karse to rest.
Okay.
I vote we just put him to rest now. Can we take a vote?
Because if we put him to rest now and this guy's gone, then we've got nothing. We get
Yeah,
nothing
but we
out.
have one less undead city.
No, we
Wait,
don't.
what
We
if we
have
do
a
this?
very angry undead city that no longer has a river of undead power flowing into it, where everyone is going to come up here and check out why that's happened.
How about this? We will not use it on the portal no matter what. And we want you to accompany us down there so you can see us not use it. All we want to do is look at the portal. Then we'll come back up and then we will either not use the screen or not use the screen. We're not going to use the screen. Okay, we're not going to use it. We're going to look at it and come back up. Okay, just look at it, come back up. That's all we want.
Make a persuasion. He says, my only concern, you appear to be honorable people, but I've met several people that appeared honorable and on the inside they were not.
Yeah, we have two.
That's why we don't want to make a deal
We
with
know
you.
we know how you're feeling.
So, how do I know I can trust you? I'm not
This is
even
when my backup
entirely
character is
convinced
hard.
you have the coalescence of scorn.
And we sure aren't going to show it to you because you're going to immediately try and take it. Because I hate to break it to you, I don't think anybody's honorable.
A reasonable concern.
Not even me?
The person who said we should just abandon the entire material plane to turmoil and death because it's
I
inconvenient.
didn't say that. I just said it would be an easier option to do this and then leave. That's all I'm saying.
Just hope our kids don't live long enough to just see what we've wrought.
Sometimes the easy option isn't.
Hey, who says kids are in the picture? I'm gonna die here.
So we're
So
just
how
going to
can
have
you
to
assure
trust
me?
each other. We can't,
We can't.
but you can't assure us either.
I will
So
give
if
you my
wanna keep
loot.
your-
And it is worth so much to me. You can have it. Just you can have it, okay? And I will promise that we have it.
He looks at Allie. He says, I've traveled with a lot of spellcasters,
Special idiot.
and I know their strengths and weaknesses, and I will accompany you down to look upon this portal that you're seeking. If you try and double-cross me, I assure you the Catman dies.
Yes, I like that deal.
I'm fine with that. That's not.
That's about time.
Nope.
Can I substitute the Dragon Man as first victim?
No, don't
Worth a
kill
shot.
Nadar. He looked after Princess Whiskers so very well.
All right, let's do it. It's just my life on the line.
We'll
Okay.
be fine.
Okay,
Let's get down
so
there.
give me a marching order, will you?
Milo and me first,
I'll put my arm on the dead guy.
and undead guy after us.
I guess I should be near the back.
Yes, because you're the squishiest.
Mr. Zombie is in between us.
He's staying right next to Allie.
No. I mean, yes.
So
You're my
wherever Allie
favorite.
is, that's
All
where he
right,
is.
fine. I'll be in the middle. What are we standing? Is this like esophagus?
It's slimy and mucusy and drops
Ooh.
down into
Slippery.
the
That's
darkness.
my fetish.
Fury's
I
gonna
think I
fly
have nightmares like
just
this.
an inch above the slime.
It's very pliant. You know, it's like walking on a big tongue.
That's my
How do
favorite
you-
word.
Coolest.
Pliant.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he's saying it's still living tissue, unlike the skull outside.
Yeah.
You say it's
Also,
like
Fury
walking on a
will
thick
get a
tongue,
hand
but
on Milo and prevent him from slipping down if it will be like a drop.
Yeah, as you come around the corner, you see a beholder.
No! No way we see that!
And it kind of jumps to life, and the
Oh my God.
armored warrior raises a hand and says, "You'll let us pass."
Oh.
And it kind of floats off to the side a little. You descend down the esophagus a ways, and it's
Looking at
steep.
the beholder the whole time.
That's good, because it's looking at you too.
No, it just
It's
like
steep,
leans
but
into
the
like the
footing
undead guy.
is solid enough that you're not worried about slipping and sliding down. As you get probably 30 feet down the throat, the wind starts to pick up
Ooh.
abnormally strong, and it's almost like little cyclones that are whipping around you. Does anyone have torches?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I have eight.
I
Nella has
will
a
get
night
two
thing
out.
If you're relying on a lit torch to be able to see, torches don't survive the wind.
Fury will get out the herbs and give them to each everyone. And
I don't-
Nella doesn't need. Nella has her
I'm
goggles.
not taking your drugs. Actually, give me those drugs.
here you go. They
Wait.
will make you see.
Herbs? Do you mean the
Yeah.
hawkweed? I
Yeah.
think I already
Yeah.
have
What?
one.
Yeah, it takes effect real quick. About 30 seconds after you chew it down. Find you can see pretty well in the darkness. Keep traveling down the throat. The winds whip really hard for about 60 feet, and then they...
Does it smell?
Yeah, all of Karse is kind of stunk. It's a lot more humid down here.
Oh,
Smells like lungs.
Yeah.
Smell like
And in
bronchitis.
fact, once you get down this kind of short passageway that was so windy, it opens up into a broad chamber. The chamber's about 150 feet wide and stretches away from you far into the darkness. The ground in the chamber is somewhat uneven. Again, it still looks spongy, but it's a very different color, and it's got large splotches of like this gray, black, tarry looking crap. And as you sit there looking at it, you see the floor. The ceiling's only 15 feet high, but you see the floor kind of swell up and press against the ceiling and then drop back down.
wait, he's breathing?
It's
Oh my god, this guy's alive.
Technically alive.
Well, then he's no use to Nadar anymore. We don't have to worry about Nadar reviving him.
Well,
Unless we
we're
kill
going to
him.
kill him by the end of this.
As you sit there kind of taken aback by the open lungs that you're watching, you see that the lungs rise about every 6 seconds, press against the ceiling, and then drop back down.
And how much distance do we have to cover?
How far is your farthest sight?
Allie can see 120.
So, Allie, you see right at 120 feet. It looks like the room continues on, but in the center of this lung-looking patch, there appears to be a blob of fleshy material, and it looks like there's a well that goes down from there.
He's saying halfway across the room there's something not moving and it looks like the living corpse version of a well.
We're getting
So-
anatomy lessons here.
What could that be? I'm trying to remember what's in the.
It's about where you'd expect the heart to be.
Oh, okay. I don't know where we need to go.
Yeah, can we ask our local undead guide if he's ever looked into why demons were coming out of his friend and maybe where they came from?
Says I haven't stopped them to talk to them, but they didn't assault me on their way out.
But
Why
I'm just
were you
saying he was your
okay
friend
with
and
that?
demons were crawling out of him. You didn't like walk inside to see what was going on?
I've never.
Also, did you
Why?
count them? How many?
How many have come out?
Yeah, surely that's a good pastime.
I didn't
Or
count
here.
precisely, but I would guess 200.
Oh, goody.
Well, my bet is that the portal is inside the heart because it's more symbolic and dramatic that way.
I would put it in the small pinky toe because that's the farthest.
It was
Well, they may not have had a
400 feet
choice.
down.
Yeah, it was 400 feet down, so it was probably in the chest cavity based on the size of this unit.
I mean,
So
if there's
maybe
a
if we
well, we
can-
might as well just look into it.
Yeah, well, and if we can get there,
Decision.
maybe she can cast and see whether it's down or off to the side. That feels more desecrated if everything doesn't feel desecrated because we're inside the body of a fallen dead god, demigod.
I mean, does somebody have locate object?
I have, but not learned today. I'm keeping my hand on my sheet, and I will use it as a kind of radar.
Okay.
So,
Beep, beep.
All right, I'll just say looks fine to me. Can I look around and just kind of make sure? Can I spot any creatures hiding in the?
Can I try to
in the
see if there
meat?
are any demony tracks? I mean, everything is kind of gross and squishy, and maybe they left some marks.
Yeah. You can either do an investigation or a perception.
Wait, you know what? Let's go with this one. Ta-da!
Wow.
You see, kind of going up the esophagus that you've come down, there are definite marks where things have torn into the flesh. They point towards that center well.
All right. Well,
That
I'm
way.
While everyone's getting fancy, I'm going to kind of look at the material. You said it's real spongy and gooey.
Mhm.
If this thing closes, am I just going to have to hold my breath or is it going to crush me and kill me?
It doesn't look like it would crush you and kill you. It's soft enough that it'd be like
Well,
a
I can
Hold my breath until
away
it sleeps back in.
giant slimy mattress pressing you against the rock.
So it won't be fun, but it won't hurt me either.
And if the
Okay.
press occurs before you, it will push you down the rest of it. But
That's true, yeah. If it's pushing up from the middle, it'll just kind of slide down the other side, maybe. All right, well, I guess we got to book it then, huh?
Let's okay. Can we time it?
Yeah. Let's time it. He said it's 6 seconds per respiration, right? So we've got, that means, okay, so it's a 12-second cycle, which gives us 2 rounds to get across. So if we dash, we can move the whole distance to the well.
All right, let's just run it. Let's book it. All right, can we
I'm
wait
not
until
saying-
it starts rising?
I'm
I have
saying
no problem if it jumps into the arms.
I'm saying from the point it goes to the top.